what the Earth allies have been doing for the last 2 decades is taking this money, this gold, because gold really is money, it's real money, and repositioning it in various depositories around the world so that this gold can then be used to do two things. One, as we said, the first part of this was to create a whole new system of hardback currency, excuse me. So what we're doing now is we're putting that gold so you can create that. But the next thing they're doing, and this is the key thing, gold is very important because one of the things that people do not understand is why is gold so important in the world's religions, especially the ancient ones who valued gold as being unbelievably important to the maintenance of their gods. One of these gods, of course, to use the Greek word and the Roman word, is Gaia. Now, Gaia requires the gold, its life energy. It's like the energy that holds the soul energy of the planet. So if it's put near where the major nodes of our planet are, it will help Mother Earth, Gaia, to survive, to be better, to live better, to act better. That helps us out. So one of the things that they are doing, beside the process of helping put all this gold together to create hardback currencies, is reposition most of the world's gold so that it actually helps the planet. So what we have with the Earth allies is, as I said, they're doing two things. They're helping create this monetary bridge of abundance, and secondly, they're taking the gold and they're using it to help Mother Earth. The system that has been in place since basically the end of the Kennedy administration, which of course is the assassination of President Kennedy in November of 1963, what we have here is a system that for the last 47 years basically has had one purpose: enslavement, getting rid of anything on this planet that allows you to be free, and denying people their personal sovereignty, their rights. And if you look at world governments, you will be seeing one after the other doing this. The purpose of the new governments, when they come in shortly, is to reverse all of that, to bring us freedom and return us to personal sovereignty. But with that means we suddenly have massive responsibilities. We have to come together as a people, not only locally, not only regionally, but globally, to create societies that allow each and one of us to experience freedom, personal sovereignty, so that we can express ourselves in responsible ways with our abundance. This is what these governments are all about. This is at one of the cruxes of what the Earth allies are about. Now, when all of that is achieved, we then have government that is global, is cooperative, and is in peace. Now remember, since the end of the Kennedy administration, we've had 7 U.S. governments that have basically been based upon one concept: war, and all the things related around it. And of course, this has encouraged their allies in Europe, whom, as far as England goes, is their overseer. We have to realize Wall Street is really run by what's called in England the City, which is a group that represents all the major economic entities under the Rothschilds in England, as well as around the world, because basically England still runs economically the world. So you got to remember that in the time of the Holy Roman Empire, when it was in power, at the period just before the beginning of the Renaissance to just at the beginning, after the beginning of the Renaissance, the major power in charge of the purse of the Holy Roman Empire was, of course, the Hanovers. And the Hanovers basically is the British Crown. So, and of course, the British Crown, when it came into power, brought with it the minions who are the city today. So just remember there's a special relationship between the Crown of England and the city in London, with the city being the equivalent of Wall Street in the United States and in New York City. So this is the downfall of that system, and we replace it with cooperative governments. Each government is to be free, is to be sovereign. Its people are to be sovereign and free and abundant. And this abundance is to be used both locally, regionally, and globally to create a society that allows for us to change the world and change the perspectives of how human beings exist in this world. This is basically what we're talking about. This is the ultimate concept of it. So, and this is where all of this, as far as the Galactic Federation is concerned, is 7. Now, one of the things that they did in the early 60s was they realized, this being the Dark Cabal, that the basis of their economic system was technologies that had been either purloined from back engineering crashed UFOs or stuff that they had gotten, various devices and other things, from the so-called, at that time, what I would like to call the dark aliens, which don't exist anymore. There's just one big happy family up there right now. So what we have to realize right now is we need to reveal everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. We have to show the world what happened. We have to have a complete history of our planet and its interaction with other world civilizations. Also, we have to explain that we are not alone. We haven't been alone for a long, long time. And there are groups that are actually here, sent by heaven, whose sole purpose is to help us through the process of moving from limited to full consciousness. The only way to do that complete and total, truthful exposition of what is happening is to end the UFO cover-up. End it now. We have to allow everything to be brought forth. If we don't allow everything to be brought forth, it's not what we need. We need to be able to see what has happened to us, what people have done, what other groups have worked to counter that with, and where we are right now. And what is the Galactic Federation, and where is it going? Why is it here? And also, how is it interacting with us? And what is this stuff called full consciousness? Now, I've given you basic understandings of the process. What they would really like to do is have the equivalent of a complete show where we can get highly technical and explain on medical and other ways, emotional, etc., exactly what the switch from where we are right now, becoming full consciousness, is all about. Not just in general terms, but in specific terms. They want all of us to fully understand that. They can't do that right now because of the UFO cover-up and the basic aspect. Right now, if you work at the core of the Dark Cabal, that core is based on these technologies that we have just alluded to, but haven't really described. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but what we need to understand is that these various secret governments working in cahoots with the so-called known, or I like to call open governments of the world, have created a system based upon technologies from and treaties that were set up with various groups in total defiance of anything legal on this planet. That's why this all has to come down. It's essential that it come down. The Galactic Federation wants all the dirty laundry from all the groups around it, as well as all the other stuff, to come down. We need a true Earth history. We need to discover as people on this planet who and what we are. What are we about? Where are we going? And that's why it is so incredibly, blessedly important that we end this UFO cover-up and end it now. Now, as it says here, this agenda we've been talking about has been gathering momentum, as we were just explaining, throughout the first decade of the 21st century. It is on the verge of victory. Now, let's see about manifesting this particular agenda. Okay. First thing we have to do is end the dark monopolies, these corporate cabals that control the major corporations on this planet, that control the major banking on this planet, that control governments as a result on this planet. We need to bring light to the world. We need to put the world in the hands of enlightened beings of light. And that's what the first stage is. Next, we have to redefine the lands of this planet. We have to see ourselves as visionary stewards who are here to create a vast transformation of our planet. In doing this, it becomes possible for all of us to reestablish the process of how our planet works, that it is a living being, and that we are here to act as a steward, as a guardian, however you would like to call it, so that Gaia, Mother Earth, can prosper. And that's another thing that is part of this whole process. We have to have banking that sustains Gaia. In other words, the economy, the abundance that is to come to us, that is around the corner, we need to use that to sustain our world. We need to end all the pollution. We need to change our whole habits of what we do, how we eat, how we work. We need to change how we look at this planet. We need to change how we look at each other. We need to create a society that is vastly different than the society that we are now a part of. This is very important to our planet. Therefore, let's look at something else that's equally important as this. As I said, money is like blood, and blood is mainly water, and as it says here, like water, money seeks its true level of worth. Let's deflate all this stuff back down to what it originally was. This is a part of this process. As I said, it'll work out from people who have looked at this, economists and other people related to the economic field. They think it'll basically 90% of all the value in the world right now is set up because of inflation will go away. And so everything will deflate 90%. Now, redistributing the wealth. As you look at these giant gold nuggets from a mine, let's ask ourselves a fundamental question. Is there enough wealth in this world for everybody to be incredibly wealthy? Answer, yes. Second question, will we teach everybody who suddenly becomes wealthy how to maintain and sustain their wealth and also help each other? Because when you truly help each other, and with light and love and care for each other, you create an abundance that lasts forever. At least it lasts to the point where we change from being limited to fully conscious beings. But by that time, this is important also, we have moved to a point where we can completely understand who and what we are in this new paradigm. And that is, of course, that we have to be Mother Earth's ally, Gaia's ally. We need to understand that we can live with a responsible capitalism. I call this abundance capitalism. We take each of our capital and we use it to create abundance and health for all of us. We begin to create a system that doesn't differentiate between somebody who has money and somebody who doesn't. We just create a system that shows that human beings are, above all, incredibly loving and caring people, and that we love and care each other as well as our planet. Let us be able to love our planet as much as we can love ourselves and each other, whether that each other is friends or family or whatever, to create a massive society of caring, of love spread around the world. That's what this is all about.